to Old World Gaming. This is just a little quick episode. On Saturday, so at the weekend, I went to Games Workshop, bought some paints because I needed to spray my guys. Picked up some red for squigs, some bone because I've been complaining about bone for ages. And also my order, I did a pre-order when the pre-orders were for Bretonnians to order some damsels. So I've been away for the week. I haven't actually had a chance to get these girls out. So I thought might as well do it now. Do a little video while I do it. I was gutted that I never got these back in the day when I got the rest of my Bretonnian army. Because I think these damsels are awesome. That's a nice little pack. These yeah, I guess are these the replacements for blister packs? They must be. This is a better option than the old blister packs. Do I have one? I've got one lying around here somewhere. Where did I put it? Bear with me a sec. Literally had one lying around here. There it is. So blister packs used to come like this. So they were a card back, bit of plastic, and then they were stuck together. I mean, they're fine, really. There's nothing particularly wrong with them. They had cool design on this one, actually. Can you see what this is? This is Warhammer Night Goblins 2006. So this is a fanatic. Basically, this is a little kind of unit filler, essentially. You got two goblins lobbing a fanatic, releasing a fanatic out of the unit. So at some point, I'll probably build this. But yeah, so it's just kind of how fanatics are released. And they came on, I don't know if you can see that in there, the base in there is like a double width of the old, so this size base. It's two of those kind of next to each other. So it won't actually fit on a movement tray like this because that gap won't fit. So if I do build that, I'll probably have to mount them on two bases like this so they fit into a slot. Anyway, getting very sidetracked. I wanted to look at these. That's the whole purpose for this. So it looks like it just pops open. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, I've not had one of these before. So I mean, I like the design. It's nice. So we've got one on foot and one mounted. This is just like you can see it says 1998, so it's not like they've changed this base recently. So I guess it must come on the old bases, but you can see the damsel's got one of the new sizes. The foot one anyway. It says Bretonnian on it. Does it have like a new date? What does that say? No, 97 it says. I don't know if you can see that, but it does say 97. So this is actually, she was probably released just when I started playing Warhammer, but they're so nice. These damsels, so I mean the ones they released in, is it 6th or whenever Bretonnians came out. Oh, you know what? See this sword? I'm really worried about. So clearly it's bent, but if I bend that back into shape, there's a very good chance that it will snap off. But obviously I don't want it wonky. This feels so sketchy. Yeah, because it's pretty wonky. We're getting closer, but I really don't want to pop it off. You know what? I could actually build them now. There's basically, this was not going to be a building episode, but they're pretty clean. Just be a little bit of clipping. Oh, fine, I'm doing it. This was not my plan at all. My plan was to just open them, but like now they're open, there's not much to them. If I build them, what's going to happen? They're just going to sit in my Bretonnian box for ages, waiting to get painted, waiting for me to do my Bretonnian army. So I almost these videos would have almost been entirely Bretonnian in nature. But when we decided, me and my mates decided to like what armies we were going to do. One of my mates chose Bretonnians, which is absolutely fine because that was his first army. No grudges there. One of my other mates chose High Elves, and so I was like, well, we've got a Bretonnian player, we've got a High Elf player. We probably shouldn't all do good guys, so that's why I went with goblins. Um, but yeah, I mean, these could have been Bretonnian episodes. Um, don't know how you feel about that. Don't know how I feel about that. But I'm really enjoying my goblins. I'm a little bit torn. I'm doing it. Let's clip these off anyway. This was, like I say, this was not the intention. I was just going to do like a 2-minute video, just showing you that I ordered these. But they came through on Saturday. Trying to think when I ordered them. Well, I guess the weekend, whatever weekend they went up for pre-order. And I ordered them to Games Workshop, so I didn't have to pay postage. I think it's 40 quid for free postage, and these were 30. I didn't particularly. I mean, 30 is more than I really wanted to pay for the damsels. I'm pretty sure that when she came out in '97, now granted '97 was a little while ago, but she was probably about 3 quid. Maybe 4, but probably 3. And the one mounted was probably a 5. So that's what, 9 quid for the two of them. 30 quid feels a little bit steep. Yeah, it does feel steep. However, not only are they lovely models, really, really nice models, but the new damsel, which also is really nice, don't get me wrong, but is 23 quid maybe? I think she's 23 quid. And like I'd much rather pay 30 quid, so like 15 quid each instead of 23 quid. And these models are awesome, and I was gutted that I never got them. So there you go. So that was my rationale, even though they are loads more than they were when they came out. And granted, there's inflation, but there's no way inflation has increased her price from 3 quid to 15 quid in that time. But there we go. She's a limited edition model now, whereas she wasn't at the time. I've got no idea how much inflation would be over that time. Maybe I should look it up. Maybe we'll look it up in a minute. I'm a little bit worried that I'm going to break some of these bits though. I don't know if you noticed, but the little, I don't even know what the pummel of the sword, when I clipped that off, got pushed out to the side, and then I had to push it back in again, which was a little bit sketchy because it could have been snapped off doing that. But there we are. So now I'm just getting rid of. So there was a piece of flash sprue, whatever you want to call it, between. It was essentially an air channel, or not? Well, yes, an air channel, or just a channel for the metal to go through and fill the pommel, basically from there. Yeah, not really an air channel, more of a metal channel. kind of an air channel, but not really. Yeah, so I had to cut that off, and there were some around here. I feel like maybe I've already filed those down. This is for letting air out. This one here. So of the mould, so that air can go out and it can fill the hair bits without leaving air bubbles. She's got a tiny little key just there. Don't know if can you see that? Maybe not. Yeah, it's not quite. So the camera. So I don't know if you can see, but I'm recording on QuickTime. So the camera doesn't react in the same way as it does when I'm just using because it's my phone. Doesn't it's not using the phone's software to control the camera. So the QuickTime software is nowhere near as good as the phone software I've noticed. So it doesn't change the light, adjust the light. It doesn't zoom in and out. The area is kind of more, I don't know, almost fisheye. So yeah, it's not quite as good. There is a tiny bit of lag. Yeah, there is a little bit of lag. But there we are. So yeah, just one of those things, I guess. But the reason I wanted to use QuickTime was because I did want to have a quick talk through some stuff on my screen, which we'll do in a sec. But yeah, I've got completely carried away. This is the second piece of getting carried away is ending up building this model, which was certainly not the plan. But I mean, how can you resist? Clearly I can't. Just want to build it. And this is just a distraction from my goblin army. I don't need any distractions. I've got far too much to do. Need to paint those squigs. I'm trying to think how to paint the squigs in a. I want to do them quick because I just don't want to spend ages. Like it took me 4 hours to paint Walloper. That's just one squig, and he's not much bigger than these squigs. Not much bigger at all. Let me just go get him actually. So that's me sitting down rather heavily on my chair. Okay, so yeah, look, Walloper's squig is he's just a little bit bigger. So if it took me 4 hours to paint Walloper, arguably I could easily spend 4 hours on each of these guys, and I really don't want to do that. And I've got Unit 7 to paint. So I need to be a little bit ruthless painting them. I can't be as much of a perfectionist as I was on that one. So yeah, I'll have to think about some tricks. I don't really want to dry brush them. I might have to get some ink maybe, or just be satisfied with less layers on the skin, but I'm just not very good at that. Dry brush and an ink, that's possible. I don't know. And then the yellow for their armor, I mean that could take a lot of time as well. They've got armored heads and armor plates on their arms. Anyway, also sidetracked again. But yeah, all that to say, I think I need to come up with a new approach to painting the squigs because I really don't want to be painting them for ages. I can't be spending 14 hours painting 7 squigs. I've got better things to do with my life. Honest. I've got other stuff I want to do. That's what I'm trying to say. I've got the Mangler squigs, I've got the other boss on the squig, and then we want to see like what we want to do to our next like 500 points probably. Um, and I'm thinking, so for the next 500 points, I'm probably gonna put a couple of pomp wagons in it, make the metal one, and probably the plastic one from the Snotling Blood Bowl team. Make a Doom Diver. So those are some of the points. Um, I might have ordered a plastic giant, so I might see if I can fit a giant in the next set of points. Yeah, so there's a few things I want to do. Maybe that kind of feels like close to 500 points, maybe. I don't know. But anyway, that's not today's problem. Um, all that to say, I can't be spending a really long time painting squigs. And kind of uh, saying I can't be spending too much time on these as well. Can't get distracted by these. I'm certainly not painting them. Um, do you know how? Do you, can you tell how uncertain I was after saying that? I'm definitely not painting them. I can't paint. I can't paint them. I've got goblins to paint. Goblins to build, goblins to paint. But yeah, there we go. So I don't think I'll stick around right now. I have no need to. No need to. Um, uh, no, I'm not going to. I need to not be sidetracked. Let's just clean her up. Um, this is. Can you? I don't know if you can sense the inner turmoil in my head of me wanting to to clean these up, put these together. It's just like a compulsion I have when I've got models in front of me that I've got loads of flash all over them. I just want to tidy them up, um, even if it's not like clearly this is nothing to do with what I'm focused on at the moment. It just happens to be something that I really wanted to get. Um, I don't know when I'll do my Bretonnian army. Like I say, right now I'm content to focus on my goblins until I've got at least 2,000 points done. Um, yeah, yeah, probably, yeah. I may do the occasional like other bit, like I did with my Empire the other day. So if there's like games coming up that I need some models painted for, then I'll paint. I'll probably take a tiny break from painting my goblins to get other stuff done. But that's not going to happen very often at all because most of my games will just be um, playing with my goblins. But there could be some other things that come up when I've got mates coming around who don't have their own armies, and I need to have some stuff for them. So that's why I did the mortar the other day. Um, we didn't actually play that game in the end. But there we are. It's ready for when I do need a 500 point Empire army to play a game with. But I got a mortar painted in 40 minutes. So there we go. See, that's what I need to do for my squigs, is just to find a method of painting them really quickly. Now, granted, the mortar and crew was very basic, and I don't want to go that basic with my goblins. I do want them to be a very nice looking army, but they don't need to be perfect. He says, wishing that they were perfect. But I just don't have time. Don't have time. Uh, I don't want to spend that amount of time on them, getting them perfect, because I'm not entering them into any competitions. It's not like they're for Golden Demon or anything. They are just so I've got painted stuff to play with. But I do want them to look good. I don't want them to just like. I don't think I want them to just be dry brushed. I don't want them to look messy, and that's dry brush stuff tends to look messy, and I don't want them to look messy. I'm sure it's possible to dry brush stuff in a way that doesn't end up with them looking messy. I mean, I've dry brushed loads of stuff. My Nurgle army is dry brushed, but they're Nurgle, you can get away with it. My Tyranid army is dry brushed, but that was just like the main skin. I painted my Tyranid army very quickly, but their scales, or their carapace, armored kind of hides. Ooh, that is very loose. That is going to break off at some point. Yeah, not sure what to do about that. That is actually going to snap off. It's super, like here. You probably can't see it. No, I can't see it either on it. Oh, that's kind of better, but not really. No, you can't really see it. But the sword there's a crease in here where the metal has come apart, and that's not good at all. So yeah, that's very likely to just fall off at some point. Hopefully not today. I don't really want to do anything about it today. It's a nice looking staff, isn't it? An orb on top. A little bit of a bend in it. Yeah, I just really like these damsels. They're nice. They're just nice. Yeah, very good. I don't know what else to say about that. They just are nice. They're clean. I kind of want to say basic, but I'm not sure I mean basic. But they'll be straightforward to paint, which is good. I've got this mould line down the leg though, which is a little bit annoying. I can't believe I got sidetracked into cleaning these guys out. Gals, girls, damsels, whatever you want to call them. These wonderful classic miniatures. That's what they are. Very nice. For those who haven't seen previous videos where I've used them, these are files that you can pick up. You can get files like these off of Amazon. I got these from a marketplace many years ago for the bargain price of 20 pence a file, which is very good. I was very pleased with that, which is why I've got tons of them because they were literally 20p each, and I just bought a whole bunch of different shapes. This one is flat with rounded sides. That one's a triangular one. Those are my favourite two, really. I am struggling to get into there and get rid of that mould line though. I'm not sure how much more I can be bothered to try, because I might just make it worse. There we go. It's the towing that line between getting rid of the mould line and then making it worse. Oh, has this got a double mold line? That's interesting. Because it looks like, so if it does have a double mold line, it's not just my eyes. I think there's a mold line here. I don't know if you can see it. No, I don't know if you can see it actually. Yeah, this is definitely a problem with using QuickTime. It's a lot harder to see stuff. But anyway, what I can see is there's a mold line here, and then a mold line here. So there's two mold lines, which to me suggests that they've remade a new mold of her, um, but they hadn't quite cleaned up. They probably struggled like I am. Cleaned up the old mold line from the previous. So they've taken this from a previous cast. So rather than using a master that's made of green stuff, they've cast one up. Um, Maybe. This is speculation, but they've used a previously cast model to make a new cast of it. I'm not really sure what process they would have used to do that, but that's what it looks like, um, which is why you'd have two mold lines on it, which normally is how you can tell fakes, because they have been recast. So someone will buy like one of these, and then they'll make their own mold off of one of these, and this will have its own mold lines, which if they haven't cleaned off, will then become part of the new model, which has its own mold lines from the new mold that they've made. And it kind of looks like that's happened here as well, because this is a particularly easy part of the model to miss. So that's speculation. If anybody knows, anyone who works at Games Workshop, feel free to get in touch with them or get them to get in touch with me. I mean, I probably could if I tried hard enough, but I'm really not interested. Am I? I don't know. I'm not sure I'm that interested. I think on the articles it actually says who's been doing it. I don't think they'd want to have a chat about it anyway. Particularly not. Uh, that's kind of like a bug in the process. But there you go. I'm the intention was not to point out problems and complain. It was just in interest in what process that they'd used to go about doing this, and is my guess is right. I realise now that I've tried to show you mold lines and can't see them on the camera, that means you can't see any of the mold lines that I'm getting rid of. But trust me, they're there. Basically, what I'm doing is getting rid of lines that go all the way around the circumference of the model. Um, yeah, I mean, I've talked about it in previous episodes, but if you've not seen previous episodes, then you probably won't have. You may not know. So basically, when a model is made, they'll have the original one that is the master that's used to make the mold, will get pressed into silicon, and the silicon, well, it depends on which process they use. From what I recall, they used to heat the silicon up to solidify it, but it could be there's a few different ways of creating them with silicon. But essentially, you end up with two pieces of silicon like this that have the indent of half of the model in each side. And they'll cut some channels in it for the liquid metal to come in, and some channels for the air to be pushed out. So that's all the flash that I took off earlier, all these little bits is where either metal goes in or air comes out of the hole, and then when they pull it apart, you end up with the model. And where the two pieces of silicon meet, you can like the line between my hands, you get a line around the model, and that's why I've just been taken off with the file. So I probably should have mentioned that all earlier. But yeah, what I don't want to do is continually repeat this in all my videos, because that'll get boring for anyone who's watched more than one. So apologies if that's you. But there we go. Right, so that's all done. I mean, it will. I was going to say it will only take seconds to build her horse, but I'm not going to stick her on a horse, not right now. So no, I'm now that I've done all that, I'm just going to put them back in their box. But there we go. That's the way my mind works. But so that was yeah, they're very lovely models. I think they look awesome. I did like the packaging as well. It's nice new style of blister pack they've got going on. And yeah, I can't wait to do my Bretonnian army at some point. And I'm just so pleased I've got them now. I was so gutted that I never picked them up before they disappeared and the old world died. So yeah, so there we go. So that's cool. So you know what? Let's have a quick look. I said I would see how much. How much? I don't even know how to much would £3 in not 1970. That's a little bit while ago. What was it? 1997 be worth today? Let's see what that is. Why is it telling me in 100 quids? I don't want to know about one. Oh, fine. How much was £1 note? Okay, fine. £100 in 1997 is £228. So if it's a tenner in 97, it's 22 crown. It wasn't a tenner in 97. So fiver makes it what? What's half of 22? 11. So and then I don't know. So if a five is 11 quid, you can tell I'm doing really bad maths here. But like £2.50 would be whatever half 11 is, 5.50. So 3 quid would be about 6 quid. I don't know. That's my rough guess. That's not right, obviously. Three to so would be like six or 7 quid. So these are my guess is these are probably about double. Actually, so if I reckon that was about a fiver, that would be 11 quid today. So maybe you know what? Maybe the price isn't as bad as I thought. Oh, my little video's gone. Never mind. Fine. I didn't want to show you a video anyway. What did I do with it? It's hiding. Oh, there it is. Okay. Yeah. So maybe the price isn't too bad. A mounted one probably in today's money, if so, a fiver back in 97 is like 11 quid today, give or take. 11, 12 quid. Let's say 12 quid. So actually, 3 quid, essentially a 3 quid hike for rarity. That's fine. And then I don't know. Yeah, so maybe it's not horrendous. So that's fine. There we go. That's my assessment in terms of the price for those right now. So on the subject of pre-orders, the preview for the orcs and goblins was came out on Sunday, and I just thought I'd have a quick look through and see what I'm probably going to pick up. I don't need any goblins. I've got tons of common goblins and tons of orcs and a few chariots. I might build a chariot. I do have a chariot on sprue somewhere, so I might do a video building a chariot actually. I mean, I probably could do videos building. God, I don't know if I need to do videos building goblins to be honest, but building a chariot might be quite a fun little video to do, so I might do that. I do want to get this guy. I love a good orc, a good black orc particularly, and he is a good black orc. So I'll probably pick up one of them. I do have this guy up in the attic, which I painted. I'm pretty sure I gave him blue scales for some weird reason. I mean, I did him when I was a kid. I tried to copy the color scheme as well. I thought he looked all right. He was on a square base, so his base stopped like halfway because this is a chariot base they've got on here. But he was on a square base, which meant he kept falling over because this guy's metal and it's just like a big lump, and it just kept nose face planting into the ground. So yeah, putting him on the chariot base is definitely the right move. So I might do him at some point. I mean, who doesn't like a black orc on a wyvern, right? I think I'll probably pick a troll hag up because I quite like the idea of doing the troll horde or troll army in the arcane journal. So I will definitely be picking up the arcane journal. I do like these guys. I'm not a fan of these guys. I mean, the shaman's probably all right, although I don't even know what's going on. He doesn't look healthy. This, I don't know, it's just something about this that I don't like the look of. Plus, I've already got 2 war bosses on giant squigs, and I've got dreams of turning a mangler squig into 2, so I don't need another one. I just don't really like that model. I'm not a huge fan of this one either for some reason. I think the faces on the moons I don't really like, and his mega crooked banner. So I've got dreams of making my own battle standard bearer. Maybe I should put that in 500 points. Yeah, maybe I'll do that in the next when we do 1500 points. Maybe I'll make a battle standard. But I do like these guys. These guys are awesome. I've got an old limited edition battle standard bearer. I got 2 actually for the orcs, but this banner is awesome. It's like a wyvern wing. So yeah, or dragon wing or something. I love it. These, yeah, very nice. Not so much these, definitely these. So yeah, I'll get those. I don't need the plastic guys. I'm not that bothered about the big guns. These are what were out when I first started playing. I didn't play orcs and goblins at the time. My mate did. He may well have some of these. Interestingly, they've given them the new shields. I say new loosely. These shields are from these orcs. So they came out in like 2000. So that's interesting that they were going to give those shields. The old shields were just round, like pure round shields. Look a bit more like, they look more like this. I don't know if you can see. Let me just make that a bit bigger again. Yeah, the old orc shields look more like that. They didn't have the moon sign and they were just flat, but those round shields. But yeah, so it's interesting to see that they've given them the new, in air quotes, shields, because they're still like 20 years old. But they are, to my mind, these are the new orc shields, even though they're 20 years old. I don't need Nazgul, I've got him. I've got like 3 of him. Completely unnecessary. I mean, I've obviously painted Git Track already. I've got these 2 guys waiting to be painted. I guess I didn't like that guy at the time, which is why I didn't buy him. And I didn't like most of these. I've got him. So I've got these 3 to do. I mean, I, I think these have grown on me a little bit more than they had at the time. I'm not really interested in common goblins, I don't think, so I probably won't do any of the common goblins. Interestingly, there is a common goblin shaman that they brought out that I've got that isn't here. So yeah, there we are. But I've got those 3 guys will probably get done at some point. I do have 2 wolf chariots. One is built and painted, and the other one is built and not painted. So who knows? Maybe I'll do that at some point. These are cool. These old goblins. I do like the idea of getting some of these ogres though. My guess is it's probably going to be like 60 quid. Maybe that's optimistic. So let's think about this. When I was working at the store, actually that unit would have cost 60 quid when I was there back in like the early 2000s, because these guys were like 12 quid each. That's 60 quid for that unit. So they might be nearer 100 quid. What are they? They're going to be in metal. Yeah, we'll have to see. That could be near 100 quid. If it's 60 quid, then that is the classic prices. I bought this guy. He was in my Mordheim warband. So yeah, so these are pre 2000. But he was in my Mordheim warband. I used him with a staff. Um, so I just like chopped it off here or something. So he had a quarter staff and a sword. Called him Morglum. And yeah, so he was in my Mordheim warband. He was in my dwarf warband. Yeah, in my dwarf warband. But yeah, so these guys are nice. I could see myself picking these up. I don't know. Maybe they're actually going to be really expensive, aren't they? I don't know. So maybe, maybe not. But they're nice. I really like them. I've got one of these to put together. Got one of these to put together. Got one of these that's half put together, maybe. So maybe I'll put that together. Obviously, I've just done snotlings. I may do some more snotlings at some point. I've got these guys and they're painted and that as well. So yeah, I'll probably do some episodes around these at some point. Maybe that one. Maybe some more snotlings because I love my snotlings. They are amazing. The bone grinder giant. Look at the size of these things. Actually, this is not a to scale picture because that width there is the same as that width. So this guy's actually loads smaller. He probably comes up to his knee. So yeah, this is not. I don't know why they did that actually, because this makes this guy look not very big, and he is ridiculously huge. Let's see if we can find bone grinder giant. Bone grinder giant size comparison. Yeah, here we go. Images. This guy is. Look at. There we go. Look at that. He comes up to his knee. Yeah. So if you've seen this and he's like come up to his waist, he does not. He is about this height. That's like twice the size of how big he really is. He literally only makes it up to his knee. This guy doesn't even make it up to his waist. He's so massive. And even these guys here, they only come up to like this high. So the new Mega Gargant, let's see if there's a picture of a Mega Gargant next to him. He's just ridiculously huge. I don't know if there is. No. Nothing here. Maybe we'll be a little bit more. Oh, look, here you go. So this one, there you are. So the Mega Gargant, I'll move my thing out of the way. The Mega Gargant comes up to his chest. Yeah, so there we go. So they've got a picture of the. They've put. So what they've done is they've found an image of the Mega Gargant size comparison next to the normal giant, and then overlaid that on top of this photo, which has an actual giant. In the photo, you can see the white base behind it to give you a size comparison. So this is the plastic giant. So the plastic giant comes up to his waist, and the Mega Gargant only comes up to his chest, and he still towers above them all. So this guy is like stupidly big. I remember, so when I was a kid, he was 75 quid from Forge World. I expect him to be in the hundreds, 200 probably these days. That's my guess. Yeah, yeah. That's all I have to say about that. I'd love to have one, but if he's 75 quid, maybe I'll get him. But if he's 200 quid, he's probably not going to be got. But then that was the same issue. 75 quid was a lot of money back then. Let's do that again. It's probably about the same sort of time. Well, what was 70 for 100 quid has doubled to 220. So basically, it's double and a bit. So 75 doubles 150 and a bit. So it's probably like 180. It would be 180 would be on par with how much he was back when he was out before. So there you go. So if he's 180 quid, That's like no increase in cost over what it used to be. 200 quid adds a little bit of he's a made to order special that they haven't done in ages kind of thing. So yeah, 200 quid is probably how much he's going to be, and he's probably still just a bit out of my budget, to be honest. So maybe I'll get a Mega Gargant instead and use it as a Bone Grud Giant. That's, in all likelihood, that's probably what will happen. Yeah, I reckon he's going to be like 180 quid at least. So there we go. All that to say, this photo here does not do him justice. He is huge, absolutely huge. This guy only comes up to his knee. There we go. That was a really long way of saying that. I will definitely get the almanac, or the arcane journal. Sorry, don't know why I called it almanac. Cards and dice. Not interested in dice. Card pack. Don't know. Not Horus Heresy. So there we go. So yeah, so I'll be picking that up. Depending on how much he is. I mean, if he's still 75 quid, then hey, I may well get him. I like the idea of getting these guys. I'll get these guys. I'd like the hag as well. I don't know. I don't know how much she ever used to be actually. So I don't know. I'd like one, but I don't know how much, what to expect. Got him, and I'll probably get him. And the shaman. There is a troll, like an orc shaman that works with trolls. So I'll be picking him up at some point. But yeah, there we go. All right. So yeah. So the main reason for the episode was to show you these damsels. But actually, it was a bit of fun to look through these as well. So yeah, there we are. All right. Well, hopefully that was interesting, and thanks for watching. If you like it, give me a thumbs up, and any comments as well, and catch you in the next video. Thanks for watching.